Thank you for joining us again for Leadership 101. This is episode 6. Who's the captain of this ship? Conflict management. So, at times, there are leaders that shy away from dealing with conflict. Either they don't know how to, or they're just uncomfortable. I often say to leaders that when I'm doing a training or one on one coaching session, if you are a leader, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. The leader is the captain of the ship. He or she is at the helm of their office or their unit. If there is conflict in the office amongst employees or an outside vendor or a customer, a stakeholder, etc., the leader must take ownership and accountability and realize that the onus is on them to fix this problem. The train is running off the tracks, and you as a leader have to put it back on the tracks. You can also empower your team to fix it as well. It's like parents in a home, and they have their two children who are fighting. Can you imagine the parents saying to two toddlers, "Work it out amongst yourselves"? Well, that just doesn't sound smart, does it? It's no different than work. You have to step in as a leader and bring order to a situation that is chaotic. This starts with conflict resolution. So, what is conflict resolution and why is it important? Conflict resolution and conflict management is a way for two or more parties to find a peaceful solution to a disagreement amongst themselves. Conflict resolution is a way for two or more parties to find a peaceful solution to a disagreement amongst them. This disagreement may be personal or financial, political or emotional. When a dispute arises, often the best course of action is to negotiate to resolve the disagreement. Conflict resolution can come in many ways, but in this episode, we will review 5 elements of conflict resolution. Some of these elements are good and some are bad. Number 1, conflict resolution strategy. The first one is avoiding. Avoiding is when people just ignore or withdraw from the conflict. They choose this method when they're just uncomfortable or the confrontation exceeds the potential reward of a resolution. While this might seem easy to accommodate, when conflict is avoided, nothing is resolved, and the matter continues to perpetuate and be instigated and get larger. And you don't want that happening in your office environment. The second strategy to conflict resolution is competing. Competing is used by two people who go into a conflict planning to win. They're assertive and not cooperative. This method is characterized by the assumption that one side wins and everyone else loses. It doesn't allow room for diverse perspectives into a well-informed total picture, or perhaps coming out with either a win-win outcome for both parties. Maybe compromise is the way. Competing might work in the sports world or at war, but it's a rarely good strategy for group problem solving in business. The third aspect of conflict resolution is accommodating. Accommodating is a strategy where one party gives into the wishes and the demands of another party. They're being cooperative but not assertive. This may appear to be a gracious way to give in when one figures out that he or she has been wrong about an argument. It is less helpful when a party accommodates another merely to preserve harmony or to avoid disruption. The reason is the one who has given in might have something life changing to add to the conversation or a problem. Their opinion may be the difference maker in securing $1 million deal versus a $500 deal. Like avoidance, it can result in unresolved issues. The next strategy of conflict resolution is collaborating. Collaborating is the method used when people are both assertive and cooperative. A group may learn to allow each participant to make a contribution to the possibility of co-creating and come up with shared solutions. This way, everyone feels supported. We learned about co-creating in Leadership 101, Episode 3. Collaborating is the best type of conflict resolution whenever possible. And this is a type of strategy that leaders should fall back on when they can. The fifth strategy in conflict resolution is compromising. This is another strategy where parties are partially assertive and cooperative. The concept is that everyone gives up a little bit of what they want and no one gets everything they want. Compromise is perceived as being fair, even if no one is particularly happy with the final outcome. So remember, you as the leader, you're the captain of the ship. When you see the ship going down, you must save it. You as the leader must find a way to turn things around. You cannot be afraid of conflict. You have to step up and embrace the conflicts and use perhaps a strategy that works, such as collaborating. Whether that involves separating employees until you can find a better or fair solution, or collaborating to find the better solution, any way to help turn this ship around is what's best. You can do this through training and development, perhaps putting your employees in a simulation exercise and having them work out their differences that way. Whatever you do, find a resolution. Make sure you use the resources that are presented to you. So I have a question for you. What type of legacy do you want to leave behind? Always remember, as long as you can read, you can achieve anything. No one is better than you or smarter than you or more important than you. If not you, then who should have a seat at the table? And I want to remind you, you are the captain of this ship. You are the leader. So that's it, guys. We finished our 6 episodes of Leadership 101. If you missed any, be sure to go check them out at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Podcasts, or any other podcast platform. The next time we'll meet, we will review important leadership topics in Leadership 201. We'll have guests who are leaders in the business world, and these leaders will have great information, guidance, and advice to help you get to where you want to be and hopefully inspire you as well. We will discuss how to be successful in your own business and how to lead an organization. Some of the very interesting topics we will cover are change management, time management, human resources management, skills and competencies needed to be a leader, decision making, the challenges of being a leader and overcoming these challenges, personal responsibility, governance, ethics and trustworthiness, team building, the importance of decisiveness, professionalism, loyalty, creative thinking, tolerance, adaptability, sustainability, resilience, self-development, and employee development. As you can see, when you're a leader, it takes a lot that you have to deposit in yourself in order to see the growth outwardly and inside of your followers. It has been great spending this time with you. Thank you for listening. I realize that you could be anywhere else during this time, but you chose to be here with me to build your legacy and impact lives. I appreciate each and every one of you. Check me out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Podcasts, or any other podcast platform. Check me out on LinkedIn, Dr. Michelle Whitmore. It will pop up Achieving Legacy Business Consulting Firm. You can look at the website, achievinglegacyconsultingfirm.com. Write a review, book an assessment, a training, a seminar, a conference, or a retreat. Whatever type of appointment you believe is necessary or needed for your leadership team, we're here to meet those needs. Until next time, be safe, be smart, and don't forget, we'll come back to you soon with Leadership 201.